have come to this place, lured by the promise of power and immortality. The darkness will claim you.
Greetings and welcome to the channel. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the highly anticipated MMO, New World, and covering the broad strokes of what the game actually is, along with some bits of lore for all you lore nerds out there, which pretty much includes me. Now, this video is intended as a gateway into a new series on the channel with an emphasis into the lore of Aeternum. We'll go 2 dungeons deep into the backstory of the island in later videos, so if you'd like to watch that, be sure to click the link at the top of the screen. Right, we have a bunch to get into, so let's jump right in. With the release of New World fast approaching, many players are patiently awaiting to besiege the shores of Aeternum once more. But what is Aeternum? Why are we there and where is it located? These are just a few questions that circle the mystery that is the island itself. It's best to start with the stage in which New World is set. Pulling straight from the New World site and wiki, it states the game takes place in the 17th century during the twilight age of exploration. After your ship wrecks upon a strange and mysterious island, you find yourself washed ashore, facing a mighty and what seems to be a bewitched member of your crew who tries to kill you. After a brief skirmish, you're free to proceed past the wreckage and into the mainland. Many secrets await you on the island, including warriors of old, the ancients reawoken, and the nefarious corrupted. Not to mention a vast swath of other players and their companies all vying for control of the lands within and the riches they hold. After some time, the player will be confronted and asked to take up the banner of one of the 3 deciding factions that currently war with each other on Aeternum. That being the Syndicate, a secret organization of boundless guile and intellect in search of forbidden knowledge, who claim they want nothing more than to usher in a new age of enlightenment. The Marauders, a ruthless military force bent on establishing a free nation where anyone with the strength to do so can prosper and profit. And lastly, at least for now, the Covenant, who are a fanatical order that has charged itself with cleansing Aeternum of heretics and defilers so that its true holy nature can flourish and justice reestablished. You also possess the ability to create or join a company of your very own. What is a company, you say? Companies are player-run organizations much like guilds or clans from some of your favorite MMOs, but with some innovative features added. Companies are able to take control of forts and thereby claim the associated towns of the province in which they control, allowing the company's leadership to set taxes of varying increments, such as crafting and trade, to name a couple. They can also choose to make war on neighboring opposing faction lands to expand their influence even further. It should also be worth mentioning that territories controlled by companies generate taxes which can be used in various ways, including upgrading the fort they reside in, the governing town's defenses, making it a more desirable home for players of all sorts, and of course, siege equipment. Moving right along to the land itself, Aeternum. Now, not much is known at the time of this video, and I'm sure upon release we'll discover quite a bit more, but we'll do our best. Expect a follow-up upload after launch. What we do know is that the land of Aeternum is old. Real old. The island possesses a substance known as Azoth, the suspected source of immortality, which has led our player to wreck upon its shores. In Aeternum's long history, sometime in the past, a ruinous war was fought with the native inhabitants of the island, leading to the immortals to subsequently vanish. What is left behind for us to find is an army of corrupted beings, ranging from awakened guardians, mythical creatures, to crazy-looking Lovecraftian tentacle thingies. Not to mention to what seems like the locals summoning others back up in some distorted form of Azoth-induced rage. So, nothing too extreme, right? But not all is doom and gloom. Aeternum is home to wild beasts and native fauna and endless rivers. The land itself truly is wonderful to explore, and you can spend hours wandering in search of hidden vistas and green glades. Trust me, I have. For all you gatherers out there is no shortage of hidden areas, secreting rare resources that are sure to go for a pretty penny. Explorers and heroes of every kind need not worry, as dungeons or expeditions can be embarked on with friends and allies for those of you in search of legendary loot and more. Speaking on the gathering and crafting, New World has taken pre-existing item crafting and put their own spin on things. Players are able to specialize in various professions and are able to craft all sorts of items of varying degrees, depending on their skill and reagents used. One of the more unique professions I have found is engineering. Being able to craft usable household items and siege equipment, I've always found player-made items fascinating. Heading over to the auction house, we have trade. Returning players will notice there are no vendors. That's right, New World's trade system is 100% player-driven. Sure, you have faction equipment sellers, but nothing in the way of actual items. This affords players the chance to be the go-to crafter for that oh-so-unique legendary sword or ring that only a few possess the skill to make. Not to leave out gatherers who have the knowledge of hidden locations of ultra-rare resources that they can sell on high. With the auspicious planned release date of September 28th, it's only a few short weeks away and players of all sorts are ready. I know I'll be. I could see it now. My dimly lit lair, empty energy drinks stacked high above the towering, never-ending horizon of pizza boxes. Don't judge me. That is going to wrap up this short introduction on the backstory of New World and the island of Aeternum. If you want to grab a copy of New World, you can find a link in the description section below. In future videos, we'll be covering Aeternum more deeply, its inhabitants, locations, allies and enemies alike, and even some theory crafting of my own. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments section below what your plans are for release. Do you plan on becoming Aeternum's next big trade mogul, questing and adventuring the depths, or will you champion your faction and slay the enemy? As always, I'll see you in the next one.